Good morning, everyone. Today I would like to share a hymn with all of you. It is called It Is Well With My Soul. Hymn number 345 in Praise for the Lord hymn book. I'm sure most of you know this hymn. Let us read Psalms 34 verse 19 to frame our mind a bit before I talk about the hymn. The righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivered him from them all. This is from the NIV version. Questions. Do you find yourself facing many obstacles when you want to do the right things in your life? Yes. Psalms 34 verse 19 encourages us that God will deliver us from the obstacles and setbacks. We just do our best to do the things that please Him. Thus, my title of this sharing is entitled, The Lord Will Deliver One Who Do His Will. I did some research on the background of the hymn. It is well with my soul, and found that the writer of the hymn was called Horatio Spafford. He was a lawyer that lived in Chicago, USA at the time of the Great Fire in 1871. He accumulated a small fortune in real estate investment that literally went up in smoke during that year. Around the same time, his young son died of scarlet fever. Horatio decided to deal with his grief by giving back to society and working to not only help rebuild Chicago, but to also work in getting thousands of people left homeless after the fire off the streets. After 2 years, Horatio and his wife Anna decided to take a vacation in England, where an evangelistic event was being held. The family booked a passage on a transatlantic ship called the Ville de Havre. But just before departure, an urgent matter arose that delayed Horatio's plans, keeping him in the United States a little bit longer. The family chose to proceed without him, with Horatio promising to join them shortly. He saw his wife and four daughters off, waving goodbye and assuring them that he'll catch up soon. Tragically, on the night of November 22nd, 1873, the Ville de Havre collided with another ship and rapidly sank. The disaster claimed 226 lives, including all of Horatio's daughters, Maggie, Trinita, Annie, and Betsy. Anna Spafford was found clinging to the debris and was one of just 47 survivors. She sent a brief telegram message to Horatio, which simply read, "Saved alone." Grief-stricken, Horatio arranged for a passage to Europe to reunite with his wife. During the voyage across the Atlantic, the captain approached him one evening to inform him that their ship was now passing over the spot where the Ville de Havre had gone down. Afterward, Horatio retired to his cabin, where he lay awake, reflecting on the immense loss he had suffered. He said to himself, "It is well, the will of God be done." Thus, he penned out the famous poem that one day becomes the music by Philip Bliss and become the hymn we all know as "It Is Well With My Soul." I can't begin to imagine the kind of loss Horatio Spafford experienced. In just 2 years, he lost his financial security in a fire and all five of his children in a tragic accident. He sent his family aboard a ship, fully expecting to be reunited with them, never knowing it would be the last time he hold his daughters. His entire world was shattered by two simple words: saved alone. Powerless to help across the ocean, unable to grieve alongside his wife so far away. And even in that moment, in a physical place of such loss, he was able to say, "It is well. The will of God be done." That's peace that surpasses all understanding. To say in the situation of total destructions that it's okay, and all that happened is according to God's will. To know the despair intimately, so closely, and still say it is well. Does it remind you of a character we know in the Old Testament? Yes, Job. In Job chapter 1, we read that he lost everything: his physical wealth, his children, even his own health. But in Job chapter 1, verse 22, it reads that in spite of everything, Job did not sin or accuse God of doing wrong. If someone could sing that tune today, "It is well with my soul," in the darkest moment and still be reminded of the hope they have in Jesus, it will definitely encourage us as a child of God. You may actually know of someone in your life who encounter this type of hardship in your life and still have positive outlook because of faith in Jesus Christ. Just like the Psalms 34 verse 19 says, the righteous will know hardship. We will go through this hardship. We will feel hurt. There will be sorrow. There will be grief. There will be frustration and uncertainty and loss. But we know that our Lord rescued us from it all, whether in this life or by taking us home to eternity to be with Him one day. And in fact, that's perhaps why He allows the affliction in our lives, so that we rest assured that He will not leave anyone at the end of the day. Coming back to the story of Horatio, although he stood on that ship, sailing over the dark ocean, carrying the weight of his four precious daughters' loss, he was not truly alone. He felt that Jesus was with him. Christ was somehow providing a peace that allowed him to honestly say, "It is well." He found a quiet assurance that somehow it will be okay. Despite of his pain, he held on to the hope that God's will was still at work. Even he could not grasp why it had to be this way. If you facing affliction or sorrow today, my heart goes out to you. But take heart in knowing that God is with you. He is your hope, your refuge, and your peace. No matter how you feel or how uncertain and painful the ground beneath you may seem, the Lord is still your Savior. And that truth alone can bring you hope. It is well. It's going to be okay. God has never let any of us fall out of His hand in the past, in the present, and rest assured that He will take care of us in the future too. In conclusion, the hymn, "It is well with my soul," uplifts me when I sing it. I really hope that this hymn will encourage us, encourage you as well. Take some time to go through the words in the hymn and ponder over it. Thank you for taking time to listen to me today. See you next time.
It is well with